Hello there. Welcome to this channel, where we will be reviewing the movie stories. Today we will see about the movie named Serenity. I have covered the plot as far as my understanding. Please watch the movie, and have fun. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Movie starts with spaceships leaving Earth, as the habitat has long perished due to increased consumption. In the future, people move to new worlds and settle there, terraforming them to live with. The central planet people form an alliance that shows like a beacon for civilization, and some people who don't like their approach, and want to be free, rebel to be independent planets in the outer ring. The outer planets that don't come under the Central Alliance were declared war against them by the Central Alliance. These stories were educated in a scenic classroom where a girl alone says that the Alliance is meddling with people's freedom, but the whole scene is a dream where River, who is being experimented by a group of scientists. A senior doctor, Simon, who is the girl's brother, comes to the rescue and acts as if he came to inspect her but instead escapes her from the facility. A covert specialist of the Parliament, known as the Operative, views the logs from the research facility. He queries the background of the river and then starts tying up loose ends since the doctor tells that key members of Parliament are involved in the unsanctioned research facility. Meanwhile, in far space, a team of scavenger rebels travel, accompanied by the River and Simon. Mal and Wash run the ship, expecting a bumpy landing. Jane and Zoe prepare for a robbery. Kaylee, the engineer of the ship, repairs to keep it intact. Simon is not okay to leave his sister being used by Mal for robbery, as she can foresee danger, as she is psychic. But Mal only accepts them on board the ship, so they can be of use to his group. At the bank in the Outer Rim, where the Alliance military is very thin, they subdue the bank and Mal opens the vault to load up money. Meanwhile, River suddenly senses danger from Reavers outside and fits in. Mal tries to save the people in the bank by locking them in the vault and leaving the place. The Reavers hunt them back, in which Jane gets injured, but they manage to escape and get back to the ship after a thrilling ordeal. Simon is furious that Mal endangered his sister, but they eventually calm down and move on. On the way, Zoe suggests that leaving Simon and River alone would not be a good idea, as they couldn't survive outside by themselves. However, Mal finds it difficult to be too nice, considering the illegal jobs they are doing against the Alliance, like petty thieving and robbery. The crew reaches Bauman to meet their mark and get more jobs for their crew. In the club bar, Mal meets his business partners, Fanti and Mingo. While they are negotiating their deal of shares, River gets psyched by a video she sees in the bar. Suddenly, she starts fighting with the people in the bar. Mal sees this for the first time, starting to realize what he has sheltered for so long. Jane tries to stop her, but she takes him down and reaches for a gun. Mal also draws his gun, but Simon manages to say some trigger words that instantly put River to sleep, and they bring her back to the ship. From the army, the operative sees video footage of River fighting and Mal taking her back. Back on the ship, Mal interrogates Simon about what happened in the bar. Simon explains that River has been subjected to behavior conditioning to control her, and there are trigger words that put her instantly to sleep. Mal is angry that Simon has not told them about these issues for the past 8 months on the ship, where anything could have gone wrong. Wash suggests that they don't have any clue what's going on, and the only person who could help them is Mr. Universe. When they consult with Mr. Universe, he discovers that a subliminal message has been transmitted over signals across different worlds. He also notices that River whispered Miranda before she started fighting in the bar. Since this message has been broadcast to more than 30 worlds in subliminal format, he asks Mal if he knows what they are holding on to. He also informs them that the military and feds have viewed the same footage. The operative meets Inara and uses her to get to Mal. Mal and the crew visit one of their rebel supporters, Shepherd Book. Mal confesses that he really doesn't know if taking River with him was the right thing to do. Book consoles him, telling him that he has to believe that everything happens for a reason. Inara invites Mal to her place, and he realizes that it's a trap, but he goes anyway to confront the man who is tracking them to get River. At Inara's place, the operative confronts Mal and starts negotiating for River's handover, but it turns into a fight, and Mal rescues Inara back to his ship. Back on the ship, the crew gets riled up since the operative is tracking them hard, and they are now directly in the fight. Jane confronts Mal, saying that during the Alliance War, Mal's platoon was killed, and he wasn't able to do anything, suggesting that the same would be the crew's condition now. Zoe intervenes, and everyone calms down. Jane takes a gun and approaches River, thinking that he can handle her and resolve the issue at the ship. In turn, the crew hears a gunshot and looks for River in the lockup room, but she is missing, so they start searching the ship for her. River takes down Jane, escapes, and tries to search something in the cortex. When Mal confronts her, she shows him the planet names Miranda. Kale says that she has heard from her dad that before the war, they were calling for settlers to build things on that planet, but now it has been erased off the cortex. Inara identifies that the planet lies in the Burnham Quadrant, at the farthest end of their planet's space. Zoe and Wash become alerted upon hearing this, and inform the crew that the planet lies behind the region, where Reaver's territory is lined up, and it's not reachable. While they plan to leave River and Simon on Heaven, where Shepherd Book resides, they find that the place has already been raided and destroyed, killing all the people who assisted Mal and his crew. Shepherd was almost on the verge of death, and asks Mal to believe in himself and take care of River. Since no one was waiting for them after they have destroyed the place, Zoe realizes that the Alliance has sent people to kill all of them who have sheltered Mal and his crew so far. While reaching them to warn, Mal sees that all were dead. Suddenly, the operative appears on the cortex, and asks him that this will continue if Mal does not surrender River to him. Mal becomes enraged, and decides to visit the planet Miranda, which had been kept hidden from the public by the Alliance for a reason. He orders his crew to hang the dead bodies outside the ship with blood all over, making it appear as if their ship had been raided and left to float in space. This way, when they pass through the Reaver's territory, they won't be attacked and can safely reach Miranda. Upon entering the planet, they see numerous advanced cities but no signs of people. Wash discovers a weak beacon and begins tracing its location. River becomes tense and hears people's voices. The crew finds that the air is breathable, but sees that millions of colonists are dead. Simon explains that they were not tortured or killed, but had given up on life and simply let themselves to die. They discover a recording, where scientists explain that they developed a gas to reduce aggression in people, but it caused people to give up and die easily. Half of the population became more aggressive, becoming the Reavers. Mal and the crew realize that this is the truth, that the Alliance is hiding, and that they are after River, because she may have learned it as a psychic. Mal decides to reveal the truth to the entire galaxy through Mr. Universe, who possesses the necessary equipment to broadcast the message. The crew agrees to stand by him, even if it costs them their lives. Zoe warns that the Alliance may reach Mr. Universe before they do, and learn of their plan. But Mal has a plan that will keep the Alliance in the dark. They contact Mr. Universe and inform him that they are coming to use his facility for the broadcast. However, the operative has already captured him and upon hearing the news, kills Mr. Universe and lays a trap for Mal and River during re-entry. Mal cunningly provokes the Reavers on the way, causing them to follow his ship during re-entry. The operative expects Mal to surrender, but to his surprise, the Reavers enter the atmosphere and both factions start firing at each other. Mal's ship crash lands on the ground, and unfortunately, Wash dies in the process. They eventually reach Mr. Universe's facility, where Mal attempts to broadcast the message. The crew holds the front, to prevent anyone from stopping them. Mal discovers that Mr. Universe has been killed and all the equipment has been destroyed. Losing hope, they find one of Mr. Universe's robots with his last recording, revealing that he has a backup unit underground, which is difficult to find and reach. In his last breath, he claims that no one can stop the signal. While the crew members fought the Reavers to buy time and stop them, Zoe, in her grief over the loss of her love Wash, ragefully gets into the fight and got hurt. Meanwhile, the operative reached the facility and heard the robot's message about the backup unit. He found Mal and they got into a fight. The operative tried to paralyze and kill Mal, but Mal had a battle wound that had displaced his nerve endings, making him immune to the operative's paralyzing attacks. The crew was badly hit, and most of them were injured by the Reaver's attack. They retreated to an inner chamber and locked the room. Simon dropped the first aid kit he had, while trying to recover a bag and got shot down. On seeing this, River finally decided to help, even if it meant risking her life. She entered the room full of Reavers and closed the door behind her. In the fight between Mal and the operative, Mal disarmed the operative and strapped him to a bar with a lock, making him watch the recording, instead of killing him. Everyone thought their time had ended, but River fought like hell in the room full of Reavers, and smashed them all. The operative had a full view of what had happened and why the Alliance had ordered him to kill River. While River had already defeated most of the Reavers, the Alliance military broke into the facility and surrounded the crew. The operative, understanding the situation, ordered his men to stand down, instead of killing Mal and his crew. He also patched up Mal's ship and let them go, assuring them that he would not follow them anymore, now that the truth was known to most people. However, he warned that the Alliance might not be forgiving, and could send someone else to hunt them down. The crew returned to normal, with Simon and Kaylee making love after a long time, Inara deciding to stay back on the ship like in old days, and River staying with them as a crew member, helping to fly the ship Serenity. They finally flew into the vast space above them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe for more. Your support means a lot and helps us continue creating content. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.